Excellent. Here we are. Hello, everybody.
Bonjour, comment estás?
Hello. Hello.
Boff. My French is limited to boff, pretty much, and maybe a little bit of Pamal and Je suis une grande tête de merde, which is just I'm a big shithead. I'm not a cultured man, except German. However, yes, last week we were rudely interrupted by a giant snowstorm, not in game, but that took out one of our players' internet. So that's why we never came back from our intermission. Apologies for that. So we are going to pick up exactly where last week ended. Who would like to remind us where last week ended?
I'll do it.
All right.
I was the one who broke it. So that week in Candlekeep, that was the day of the griffin egg about to hatch. Riley had been helping out Tailwind and Tealwing nurture their egg for the past several months, and as it was about to hatch, everyone went up to the aviary / stables to give the new griffin a warm welcome, and that accompanied with what would have been a naming scheme, but we just decided on placeholder, and it's gonna stick.
It is stuck.
We're staying with placeholder because he holds a place in my heart.
Oh. So the rest of the party hung around there for a bit while Riley played with placeholder, and then, despite our best efforts to derail the session, Zio set up an alarm on the stairs, so we had to actually go to bed and follow the plot hooks.
Yep.
How could you do this to us, Harrison? Thankfully, we did find out that Zio raided nearby farms for chickens when he was younger, so deep Zio lore right there.
I still believe he was once just a regular fox.
Wait, I'll just let into Fantastic Mr. Fox for a minute.
Anyhow,
The BBEG this campaign is Farmer Bean.
Let's see. As we all went to sleep, we heard a horrible shriek late at night. Tim also heard Shemshine, but that's probably nothing. It's probably fine, and that's a Tim problem, not an us problem. Anyway, the horrible shriek turns out to be Tailwind in an absolute panic, attacking the student dorm tower. Because as we go up to the stables, we find out that placeholder is absent without leave. We find there is a single small pearl with a pin used for clothing that was lost in the stables, and stuck into the wall near one of the open doors to the stables was a grappling hook that appears to have been launched as though from a ballista or some other sort of siege device kind of thing. It was engraved with a sigil of a hammer and flame, which is Faircragg's sigil. He's a local blacksmith. He works at the Crucible Kickstarter coming soon. Back it.
Good man.
Faircragg seems unaware of what happened. All he knows is that he sold a grappling hook to a dwarf druid about a month ago, and the dwarf druid claimed to be looking for a place to build a house in a remote crag about a few days west in a forest. As druids are wont to do, they just want, get away from people, because imagine going out in public and the public's there. The dwarf druid's name is Algos Rivertrim. The party grabs some stuff from Faircragg's blacksmithy. Thank you, Faircragg. And we head east. Not west, because Candlekeep's to the west is the coast. East. And
I think I did say west in the session. But yeah. This is magic Candlekeep. Magic woods.
Either way.
Yeah, we headed away from Candlekeep.
We were following the plot there.
Yeah.
We were following the direction given. And we just basically ran out in the middle of the night, running on very little sleep, heading into the forest with basically just a woman in prayer. And eventually we find a small clearing, and in that clearing there is a pointy-eared, blue-skinned person. I'm not sure if they were a water genasi or a sea elf or something, but they're blue-skinned. They were a hunter. They had caught a red panda in a snare/noose. They had a dog with her. And
Multicolored.
most importantly, she had some pearls stuck in her hair. As Precious asked, "Hey, you ever commit crime?" This mysterious hunter's like, "How about I answer that by committing crime and drawing a crossbow?"
Yes.
And then we rolled initiative.
We did. I don't think we actually got to the rolling of initiative, looking at my combat tracker. But yes, initiative is being drawn. So let's all please, when I add you to the combat, have you rolled initiative.
For some reason, my Foundry's taking an extra few moments to load, so I might be a second.
Alright. Should our tokens be on here? Yeah, there we are. Ooh, that's a very interesting puppy. That does not look like a normal puppy.
Yeah, I described the dog as being made of just all different hues of multicolored light along its back.
Oh.
So the stranger has not rolled well, actually.
Oh.
So,
Harrison, I'm being
Yes.
an idiot, but I can't see the button for rolling for initiative.
on the fist, the combat tab, next to Precious, you have the dice next to her.
No, there isn't. There usually is. Hence my. Oh, hold on, it's a pop-up. Okay, never mind. Sorry. Here you go.
Tim, I see you've joined and left. Should I click to roll initiative for you while you're sorting yourself out?
That would be very helpful, thank you.
Yeah, and I knew that happened. Tim is the top of the entire round.
Oh.
Well, Tim's tied with Varley. Are you happy for Varley to go first while you're getting logged in?
Yes, Tim very graciously lets Volley go forward.
Okay, Varley, this figure has just made to draw a crossbow at you.
All right.
We haven't fired anything yet. We just reached for it, and they're to be pulling it up.
Vali's eyes go wide at that, and does it look like this person has hostile intent? Like clearly hostile intent, or is it more of just like a putting your hand on a gun when you see some suspicious people?
They've gone further than just putting my hand on it. They are raising it.
Oh, okay. In that case, Vali is going to shout, "Look out, they have a crossbow!" And they are going to run up, and they are going to try and stop them from firing by doing the old unarmed 1, 2, 3. Let's go with... Oh, got target. Unarmed strike 1.
They duck out the way. Just almost look like we're going to drop to a knee for a moment.
Unarmed strike 2. This is not looking great.
They twist
One
away
key
from
point.
the second one.
One key point, they are going to do 2 more unarmed strikes as a bonus action.
Is that a flurry or just an attempt?
Flurry of blows. Yep.
Yeah, that one hits.
Alright. And they are going to try and do a jab right into the stranger's underarm and try and stun them. So I'll just mark off the key point and do a stunning strike there.
It has not prompted me.
Let's see.
What DC do we need to make?
That will be a DC. Let me just double check. That
it took a few seconds to come through.
Oh.
They succeed.
Unfortunate, but thankfully I have one more unarmed strike left.
Also hits.
And let's do one more stunning strike. Why not?
Can you multi in a round?
Yep.
Oof.
Yeah, you could do 4 stunning strikes right there.
Oof. If you don't care about your your key.
Yeah, well, key's meant to be spent. There's 3 key points in one round.
They fail. Tell me what you do.
As The valley sees the stranger raising their crossbow. They're going to run forward. They're going to try a few quick blows, but they're a bit hesitant because they're rather tired, and this is actually the first time they've gone to a fight. And they're a bit cautious, but they see an opening. They punch the stranger in the arm and then do a jab right into their solar plexus to stun them and just knock the wind out of her lungs.
Okay. Oops, let me start combat. Tim, are you with us?
I am indeed.
Okay, we'll have Tim, then we'll revert to just regular.
At what state does the figure look to be in?
They look to be stunned and somewhat breathless at the sudden onslaught they've just received.
Well, Tim is going to quickly move to the edge of the tree, and moving his hands together in his mouth, he channels the magic within him, keeping it held close but ready to lash out as he prepares suggestion if he sees any further hostile action from the stranger, which will trigger the spell.
Okay. As you begin those initial stages of the incantation, or those preparatory steps, you notice that the dog's eyes immediately snap past Varley and latch onto you, and you see a slight crackle on the hair on its back.
Oh, hello. As Tim shakily continues to mutter the incantation and end his turn.
Okay. Riley.
Hey, Riley runs up. Why would you steal a baby griffin? And she casts Elemental Blast.
It goes wide.
Which misses.
We are not having good rolls here, TBH.
Well. The nearby,
It could be better.
like, sticks smolder, but that's it.
Okay. The creature howls and takes a quick winding path, darting between Varley and Riley, heading straight towards Tim, who it lunges at.
Oh, whoa, hey!
And to show you the full size of this thing now that we're
Oh my god.
Oh, that looks wild. Use the bat.
Very pretty.
yeah, and it's going to leap out and bite at Tim. Can you do anything about 22? I can't remember if you have shield.
Oh, it wouldn't do anything anyway.
Okay.
Oh, damn it! As the bite rakes across the leg, Tim mutters a very family-friendly version of a series of curse words. Get away from me!
And it does not. In fact, it bites a second time.
Oh, ow, ow!
Oh, sorry. Is that one you could do anything about?
No.
Okay. The save and throw is... I need to edit that save and throw because although it is prompting for you to be pulled prone, so that second one should have been an advantage, actually, it is doing the old halving the damage thing, which it shouldn't do. But that's fine. So that's accurate.
Oh no, Tim.
It then proceeds to unleash this long, pealing howl that just undulates for a few seconds. Tim and Riley. I need to check something. Varley, your racial ray of frost, does that classify you as a caster, or is it different when it is a racial element. If you wouldn't mind quickly looking that up while I just do some measuring. Oh, so precious. Yeah, everyone within 30 foot of the creature hears this howl. I do not believe that there are any spell effects currently in play, but any spellcaster needs to make a DC 14 Constitution saving throw. So that is all of you, and possibly Varley. Tim.
Sorry, Harrison. Do you need one from me too?
I do, yes. You are exactly 30 feet away, so you also hear the full brunt of this cry. And
Constitution saving throw, right?
yes, please. DC 14.
Fail.
I'm very glad that I attuned to that little amulet.
So, everyone except Varley is stunned until the end of their next turn. Tim is also prone.
Joy.
Let me just check that the duration of the stun is until its next turn. So, Precious, you unfortunately are stunned.
Convenient.
Yeah.
I will go back out.
Yep, the turn ends and you are no longer stunned at the now it's the end of your turn. Remind me, Mac, I haven't done a monk in so long. Is this person rolling to see if they are back in action, or?
Nope, they're stunned until the end of my next turn.
Excellent, so nothing happens there either. Top of the round, Tim, you are prone, you are stunned. Your turn comes to an end, and you are no longer. Varley, it's you. Oh. Varley, you cut off a little bit then. Tell me we haven't lost Varley. Can the others hear me? Is it me? This is concerning. I can't hear any of you. Mr. Deaf, if you are listening, can you please, if you're still here, can you let me know in chat who you can and cannot hear? I feel like Discord is super hanging or lagging out on audio.
Out.
I can hear only me. Okay, that suggests to me it is a problem with Discord servers. Let's have a look. Okay, you're all typing, but you can hear. Can any of you say anything for me?
Yeah.
Alpha Bravo 1
Yeah.
2 3.
I can hear Nikki. I can hear Mac. Gija's lighting up,
Alright.
but I can't hear her. And Knock.
I'm gonna turn up Chicha.
What about
Hello,
Knock?
hello.
Oh, we can hear Knock.
I'm all here.
So the only person I can't hear is Gija.
That's
Concern.
odd.
What about now?
Yes,
Oh,
I can
yeah,
hear you now.
Oh, now, yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent.
It's disconnecting all the time, but we'll try their best.
Yeah, I'm guessing Discord's having some sort of... They do not want this particular session to go ahead, do they?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. So,
Play by
yeah,
post.
Varley, it is your turn.
Yep. Does it look like the Hound is intending to continue attacking Tim?
Absolutely.
All right. Vali's going to run over there, and they're just going to try and
And
Pick
you,
the
you
dog.
see the stranger like move to just intend. They clearly intend to lash out at you, but they just can't get their arm extended properly yet.
they are going to go and kick the dog. Quite literally, they're going to do 2 attacks on this Hound. On trick 1.
Definitely hits.
As they just... Wow, another 1. As they just punch the dog in the back, and then they are going to try and sweep the leg unfortunately misses, and as a bonus action, I get to make one more unarmed strike.
Joke's on you, it has 3 more legs.
And I'm going to spend a key point to try and stun the hound. So, make one.
That's interesting. It prompts me with let me roll that for you for the hound. It did not for the NPC.
Alright, the hound is stunned until the end of its next turn.
It is.
And Valley's going to go back and... Ooh. Yeah, let's go back over here. And that's their turn.
Okay. Riley, it's you.
I think I'm out, right?
Sorry, your turn. Let me have a look. It came in at the hat. So, so you are stunned. Your turn ends. You are no longer stunned. It is the hound's turn. It is stunned. It can do nothing.
Good boy.
Precious, you're finally up.
Precious rushes a bit forward, and as she sees the stranger come out of her stun, she's gonna need her to do I believe, charisma saving. Did that prompt it? No, wisdom saving. Sorry.
You weren't targeting it. Are you casting it again, or do you want me to manually do the save?
Would you mind manually rolling?
Yeah, so you said that was wisdom, yeah?
Yeah.
That is a 15.
Saves. Fuck. Okay, never mind. Still goes. She does, once again, nothing.
Okay. The stranger, suddenly regaining movement of their arm, just fully drops the crossbow with Varley up in their face, and just fluidly draws a short sword from their hip and a long sword off their back that they just go straight into swinging from the same movement as drawing it, and they are going to make a long sword and a short sword attack. Can you do anything about that?
Valley cannot. Nope. As that goes, Valley just... Their eyes go wide. You try to kill me. Almost in shock at the offense.
You can see it was absolutely like an attempt to kill as well. It was a long sword strike that you just managed to twist away from, and then the short sword intended... You could tell it was intended to be like a throat-cutting slice. Still a bit of a playful smile on them, but yeah. And then, just as you think it's finished, the stranger sort of points their swords in like a quick flourish, and a beam of frost emits out and springs over at Tim's direction. Ranged spell attacks are at disadvantage against prone, isn't it? It's not just weapon attacks.
Yep.
Perfect.
Goes wide. Oh, it was targeting 2 people anyway. Yeah, so I was tempted to go for Tim. That wasn't meant to be both people, but it goes wide. And they will slightly reposition themselves. Top of the round. Tim, you are prone.
Tim desperately scrabbles up off of the ground and looking at the spellhound before him, the colors reflecting off the end of their hide, he takes a trembling step back.
To which it can do nothing because it's stunned. But you see these baleful yellow eyes glowing.
Okay. He takes another step back and says, "Okay, no magic. With you, no magic. Okay. What can I do?
It's lost its focus, Tim. You can do a bit of magic now, I think, if any time.
I would also remind you that tied up in a silver snare writhing away about here is a red panda that is very much tied up and noosed around the neck. Just because I haven't got a token for it.
Okay, then Tim is going to look at it for a moment and then turn his eyes towards the blue stranger. And he's going to mutter, "Stop." As the incantation that hurriedly follows is hold person, directed to bind and assail their body.
Did
It looks
Is
like
it
it's. It looks like it's going to take a second for it to do it again.
oh ho ho ho!
Yeah, failed it before.
Paralyzed. All right. That means advantage and instant crits. If it hits, Valley is going to go for 3 blows on this stranger.
Well, first of all, was that everything from Tim? Yeah.
Yeah, that was it from him.
Okay.
First blow, they're going to grab the stranger's arm and do sort of a chop to try and knock the sword out of their hand. I know there's no disarming. Oh!
Yeah, with a nat 20 will say for us.
Whoops.
Although you
Shouldn't have.
the poor dog.
I'll just roll the d6 here, and that did not roll the critical damage. And that should be d6. Okay, a total of 15 damage to the stranger. For the first attack.
Done.
Second attack.
Somehow.
As they're trying to go for the other arm, they're trying to just maneuver around these two swords. So instead, they're just going to try and knee the stranger in the side. And that will be a crit.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a control click here to do roll crit?
There should be an option to click critical when you're on the damage screen.
I didn't see that. Either way, that is 11 damage total to the stranger. And that is their turn.
Okay. Riley, it's you.
Okay. I will position.
Also, the hound's no longer stunned.
Yes.
Oh my god. Somewhere here. Wait, where's the hound?
Oh yeah, token just disappeared.
Disappeared.
It was right here.
Okay, cool. I will say, Tim, get back, and I will cast Cure Wounds.
Thank you, Riley. Thank you.
Ooh.
Nice. And as the warm glow heals your wounds, you feel empowered by it, as Riley uses her bonus action to cast Enhancing Surge. And you gain 1d6 temporary hit points, and the next time you deal damage, you deal 1d6 additional damage.
Thank you, Riley.
Very nice. Anything else from Riley?
That would be it.
The creature, which I'll tell you is called a spellhound, just so I can stop trying to avoid saying it, gets its control of itself back and just gives itself almost like a wet dog at the river sort of shake, and just a shower of different colours comes scattering off. It looks for a moment over to its master, and then you see Tim, as if its eyes are following some sort of invisible thread across the clearing, set its eyes firmly on you. It is going to dart over to you. Precious, you may make an attack opportunity if you wish to.
Yes, please.
Kick its ass.
Just misses.
Wow.
As it comes at you, it's just following this invisible trail, and you just know that it's following the sense and the thread of the weave, and its attacks towards you just seem to come with unerring accuracy and fury as it attacks advantageously as you are concentrating on a spell. Can you do anything about a 19?
No, I cannot.
So there's 2 saves going to hit, but the save that it's going to automatically... Well, I don't know which order... Yeah, it's doing concentration first. So... Oh, you... That's done it in a weird way around for me.
Oh,
Is that 2 separate 17s, is that?
No, I think it's the same one. Just displaying twice.
Okay, so then you also need to roll...
Yes, it seems
For
I
the,
failed the strength save
Oh,
as
yes,
well.
there we go. Yeah, it did. For some reason, I thought it was a con saving throw. So you are pulled prone. It bites again, still advantageously anyway, on account of both the prone and the...
Oh, that hits.
So you're
Come on,
probably...
Tim. Pass the save. Pass the save. Yeah!
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah!
It has no howl left in it, so that is the creature's turn. Precious,
Okay.
it's you.
Precious is going to, just reeling from that failed scratch, get behind it. And her nails, which have elongated for the scratch, are now oozing a kind of vile black-green liquid. And she's going to try to pierce through into this creature as she casts inflict wounds.
Jesus.
Ooh.
No, I'm guessing we're not using flanking rules.
No.
Well, Precious is not having a great day, but she's going to do what she does best and just sing a little ditty, hoping to inspire Valley, so maybe he can keep the stranger in stun lock.
Actually, wait a minute. No, sorry, I won't backseat drive. Never mind.
Okay.
And there it is.
That's Bardic Inspiration over.
Perfect. So I think that's the end of her turn.
Okay. Is the stranger still stunned or not out the stun? I can't remember, Volley.
They
Held
are not stunned from volley, they are held
They are
by
held
Tim.
person, and that is a full paralyze, isn't it? Hold person, no actions at all.
Yep.
Yeah, and they are. Do they repeat their
Oh,
save at the end of their turn? Do they not?
They do, yes.
Okay, so what save do they need to make, Tim?
Wisdom.
DC.
DC 15.
They got a 12.
Nice.
Top of the round, Tim. It's you.
Alright. I can't see the Spellhound's token, but is it
Oh,
adjacent to me?
it's north of you. I'm not sure why that's
Oh,
happening.
wow.
Yeah. I don't see it either, but I
Oh.
just saw the...
Let me
Art.
hide it and rehide it. Is it there now?
Nope.
Nope.
If I
Huh.
move it and move it back,
Nope.
Nothing.
I'll do a good old hit F5 then.
But Tim is going to very nervously look around and look to Riley and Precious and says, Can you guys take care of the hound?
Try.
Okay. Then Tim is going to disengage and move here, and that'll be the end of his turn.
Okay, now I've reloaded. Can you see the Spellhound, Tim?
Nope.
Very strange.
I'll try to
It's all
reload
good,
on
though.
my turn. So Valley is going to just try and knock this person down. They are going... I don't know how bloodied they are, but if that matters, they're going to go for non-lethal strikes here. And they're going to do a 1, 2, 3. First attack, advantage because paralyzed. Oh, a crit anyway.
An annoyingly wasted crit.
I won't say no to that. There you go. 15 damage as they punch the stranger right in the throat. And then another advantage strike. And they strike the stranger right in the gut, right in the kidneys like a boxer. And then they are going to
Well,
duck.
you go to strike again, and you can just tell from your sparring experience this figure's about to keel over. As in, they are actively keeling over now.
Okay, then Volley will change their strike a bit, and instead of doing a blow that would be a bit more potentially lethal, they're just going to sweep the leg and still do the 9 damage and leave them unconscious at 0.
Okay.
And they are going to hurry over here to do their last attack on the Hound, which I cannot target, unfortunately.
Just, it's really weird. Just roll it.
Yep.
AC is 14.
Alright. Oh, that shouldn't be advantage. The dice rolls are exactly the same.
Yeah.
Anyway, so 1 normal strike onto the Hound.
For a total of 8 damage, which I will now apply.
Alright. And
Done.
that's their turn.
Okay. Riley.
All right. Riley reaches for her bejeweled dagger and makes an attack on the Hound, to be clear. Oh my god.
Goes wide.
Yeah, and that's it. Yep,
Yeah?
unfortunately.
The Hound, surrounded by foes, driven with a single purpose, is still going to dart for Tim. Anyone who wants to make an attack opportunity will be able to.
Volley will.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, fuck him up, guys.
Alright. And on that unarmed strike, I'll just double check, but I think I can stunning strike on opportunity attacks.
You can.
Oh, wonderful. Volley will use her last key point to stunning strike that Hound too.
Do bonus action features apply in opportunity attacks?
No.
No. Okay.
It fails.
Sorry. The Hound is stunned until the end of Volley's next turn as they just jump on its back and shove its head down into the dirt to stop it from running after Tim.
Yeah. You can just see that it's desperately trying to just drag itself forward, Tim. You can just see these eyes. The eyes are on you. They're just unable to drag it. Your companion's near enough hanging off its back, trying to weigh it down and keep it stunned. But it is singly focused on you, and it is coming.
Oh, that is unnerving. Okay.
Precious, it's you.
Seeing as it's now sort of moving less, she's going to try again to do the same thing and inflict wounds on this creature.
Okay.
Is that at advantage?
It is a disadvantage.
Oh, because he's prone.
It is not prone. It is still. Is it a save and throw? Inflict wounds. Sorry.
No, it's
It is a magical.
melee
Yeah. So the attack is regular. The damage would not be. Go on.
Okay.
So yeah, attack is normal.
If it is, unless some other feature, stun gives advantage on attacks. Oh, wait a minute. Oh no, I'm in danger.
Sorry, Valley. I hate the sword system.
Duplicity.
That's okay, I have 26 HP, I'll just remember.
That's 17 necrotic, which you will do what you must with.
I will do what I must.
I love this whole stun thing. I love just not letting Harrison use these creatures.
Hey, that's fine. Anything else in Precious?
She's going to move a little bit away.
Okay. The stranger is stable and unconscious. Tim.
All right. Tim looks very nervously at the spellhound. Like, okay, I'm gonna keep moving away from you. And he casts Toll the Dead on it.
At disadvantage.
Yes. Actually, it is a saving throw, so they need to make a wisdom one. Since I can't see them, I can't target them. So if you could do that manually, I would much appreciate it.
As it turns out, relogging for me or just hitting the good old F5 was enough to bring the token back, so.
Nice. A 21, I'm sorry to say, Tim.
All good. As Tim sees his magic fails, he takes an extra few steps backwards.
Varley.
Volley is going to... I'm just trying to decide how much they like animals. You know what? I'm sorry?
This is not an animal.
Petrus raises a
how
convincing point.
Dare you?
Volley is going to go for the 1, 2, 3 at advantage because it's stunned. As they just grab this spellhound and sort of throw it into the ground with almost shocking violence for their normally mild mannered personality.
Those double rolls, man.
And then for their third attack as a bonus action, they're just going to try and do the good old Bane, just like style, grabbing the spellhound and throwing it onto the ground. For a total of plenty of damage.
It does not
And-
look to be particularly phased by all of this brutality it's taken. You see no discernible wounds on it so far. And it is still singularly focused, it would seem, its eyes, even as you're thrashing around and throwing it about, it is constantly twisting its neck and its head to keep its eyes on Tim.
I've got a good idea for next turn.
Riley, it's you.
Oh my god. Okay.
What's it going to be?
Okay, I'm going to swing my dagger again. Advantage or not?
Nope,
It is
it's
no
no longer
longer.
stunned.
It is no longer stunned. No.
No. Okay. Very good. And as Riley swings, the dagger gleams with orange energy as I'm imbuing the weapon with my psionic energy.
Nice.
And it 2d6.
Ooh.
Big max damage.
That would be it.
Nice. Okay. It makes to rush Tim once more. Who will make
He's
it?
gonna make an
Yeah,
opportunity
yeah.
attack. And actually, they are going to try and grapple instead. So they're going to do a contested strength check against athletics or dex, whichever the hound prefers.
It's an opportunity attack?
When you make an attack, you can choose to.
Yeah, I mean,
Grab.
can I also make an opportunity attack? Is
Yeah, yeah. It's
trying
me
to move away?
leaving both of you.
Yeah, okay.
All right. The hound will have to beat an 18 with
does not.
athletics. Oh, cool. The hound is now grappled, and it has speed 0 while it's still grappled.
Then, unable to get away, it turns and focuses on you.
Oh, I could have seen that.
Oh, sorry, Tim. Tim was still targeted there.
All good.
Hits Varley.
Can't do anything but that.
You should be prompted for the strength save now by it. So here's the thing. When you are knocked prone, are you technically therefore still grappling it at that point when you've been moved to the floor?
I don't believe so. No, I think I'm still grappling it.
Yeah, you've just kind of been driven to the floor, clinging on for dear life.
Yep. I picture it as sort of like Valley's grabbing onto their hind leg as it just shoves them to the ground. Or grabbing onto its tail.
Precious, it's you.
Precious had hoped to move next to the red panda, but I can't see it.
It's not on the map. It's there.
Fine. She's going to grab. You said there was a bag.
There was an empty bag, like an empty sack that you could tell that the stranger was probably attempting to move the red panda into.
Let me put it this way. She's looking for something to either muscle, cover the head, or leash this spell.
There's a rather large burlap sack. Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So she'll grab that and then return. Now, I don't know what I need to do to try to, cover this being head.
I would say try and make an attack on it.
Can't inspire myself, can I? All right, I'll do what kind of attack?
That's it's like your scratch attack, like a melee. You're trying to just get this bag and drag it over its head whilst it's already being grappled by one of your allies.
Okay. This is not her forte. Oh.
You managed to get this bag dragged roughly over the head of the creature.
Right, and then she's kind of, turn to her companions and say, "Someone help me tie it up and tie him up so he can move."
Yeah, you can see that even through the material, it is still making full attempts to snap. You are not entirely certain if this will do anything except... You're not sure if it'll do anything to mitigate its biting. All it might do is make it blind.
Yeah, is there a way, basically I wanted a leash. I don't know if the snare would have been a better...
It would have taken some time. It would have taken some time to get this. Yeah, if you would be going through your bag, you'd be taking an action to go through your bags to find and retrieve rope to start getting ready to use it. Yeah, it might be something. It would be something you get done in this same turn.
Yeah, no. So I'll turn to Valley and Riley and say, "Do we have some rope? We can tie it to something, a tree or anything." And that's her end of her turn.
Okay. Tim.
1 moment to look to rounds.
Tim, still in a mild state of distress from how fixated it is on him, is going to move a little closer and cast Healing Word on Valley.
Thank you.
And then dodge as his action, and that'll be his turn.
Alright. Let's see. Well, the normal attacks didn't seem to have any effect on the Spellhound. Let's try something different. Valley is going to move half their speed, dragging the Spellhound over here towards the tree. And as they get it there, the hound is effectively blinded because of the bag.
It will attempt to bite out when it sends someone move away, but it will be at disadvantage.
I can drag it along because it's grappled.
Oh, you're okay.
Yeah,
So yeah, half movement, obviously.
Yep, grappling, and is it also blinded with the bag over its head, because that will give advantage on attacks?
You don't know.
Okay, fair enough.
You can see the glow of the eyes coming through the sack, but you don't know.
Okay. Fair enough. Valley will then attempt anyway some unarmed strikes. This time, instead of doing normal damage, their hands are just going to ice over with frost, and they'll use the Ascendant Dragon feature to do cold damage instead, wagering that maybe non-normal damage will be more valuable. Does it appear that 9 cold damage has any more effect than normal attacks?
It seems about the same as regular. Has the same sort of effect. You see a bit like that hoarfrost spread out across the fur. In some areas the fur goes brittle and snaps off. In other areas it rapidly melts away like that particular area of fur was heated. There's just this ever-shifting iridescence to the fur.
All right. Okay. They'll just finish up the multi-attack then. For another hand cold damage. Oh,
In a burst of colourful smoke,
oh.
the creature just dissipates and just carries off on the wind. No cry, no yelp, just a very, very sudden.
Vali looks shocked at that as their hands, which were once grasping the creature, are now empty. And they just look around as though expecting it to appear elsewhere.
Is it gone?
I don't know, by a rope.
Thank God. Oh. Okay. Oh my God. This
I
is.
will search her bag for a rope.
I've got rope too, don't worry about it. I just sort of grabbed a bunch of stuff. And Vali's going to empty out their satchel and pull out some hempen rope.
This has been far too much activity for today.
Precious will assist and say, Riley, maybe check into the little red panda. You're so good with animals.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
see a slightly smaller than usual red panda, perhaps like a kit or young, lying there looking distressed, sort of on its back with a very fine, like a very, very fine for what it's being used for, like silver snare over its neck, almost sort of pulling it down into the ground a little bit. It almost looks like a sort of the reverse of how a mole trap works. It's kind of been dragged down into the floor by it. And it's kind of on its back doing like the scared red panda sort of shocked pose. And it's you can see from where you are, Riley, that the snare is very, very much digging into and squashing the throat a little bit, and its shining eyes just sort of are on you just intently.
Poor thing. Can I? Is there any way to open the snare to free it?
You can certainly try. How are you looking to do that?
I guess it would be tricky to do with just hands, right?
Yes, definitely. Unless you had experience of how the traps work.
I probably don't.
Well, actually, I can help a bit, Riley. As Tim comes over, he takes a deep breath as he uses his channel divinity to scour through the weave for trap knowledge.
Is this your knowledge of the ages?
Ah.
Oh,
Nice.
wow.
Yeah. Give me the start of how you see that working, Tim. Then I'll take over the description of what the payoff is.
Okay, so Tim kneels down next to the snare, and he hasn't had much experience in his life with the natural world. He's been largely divorced from it, in fact. But as he studies it, and as his mind mires in concentration, a certain spark of knowledge begins to come to him of how these things are built, how they're made. It's knowledge he's never acquired in his lifetime, but perhaps he did in another, or one very much like him, as he sees its inner makings, the knot construction, the fabric that it's built, and his fingers begin to move towards it, much more deft than they ever would normally be.
Is there any sort of role involved in this? Or is it just because of proficiency?
Yes, I was going to try and throw either, whichever you think would be more fitting.
Survival would be very appropriate.
Yeah, I was going to say survival or sleight of hand.
Wait, before you do that, she's going to, oh my god, give you inspiration.
It's very necessary.
We can say she was saying it when you threw it. We can say if it was inspiration bear. Is that a bardic?
Bardic inspiration, yeah. I'm not gonna click the ability. I'm just gonna discount it so that it doesn't interrupt with the singing. But yeah, let's just see.
Is that a plus D8 now?
No, I think it's a D6 still. Hold on.
Okay.
So do you say you've manually ticked one off? Have you, Precious?
I have, yeah.
Cool.
Oh my god.
This
Unfortunately,
thing's dead.
yeah. Unfortunately, Tim, as you scour back, you see many different variations and different.
Only his head.
Changed by culture or by time period as technology changes and methods are improved, or variation based on the specific creature or perhaps the environment the trap was intended for. You've never seen a trap quite like this. It still seems to be mostly mundane in its construction, but the mechanisms where the snares meet the soft earth feel very unusual. The snares almost seem to go into the earth, like there's a sort of like an area of trap concealed beneath the soil, and you're not sure how to work the mechanism or where indeed the mechanism might be.
Tim gives a lingering sigh as he looks at the red panda with sorrowful eyes and says, I'm sorry, little one. I wish I could help more.
The panda sort of looks up at you and meets your gaze for a long moment.
Oh, Tim's gonna keep at it, even if his efforts are ineffective, even if the knowledge doesn't work. He's gonna spend the next bit of time very silently and diligently attempting to help, even if his efforts might be futile.
Make a dex check with advantage for taking the time to go through and persisting at it.
Should be coming through.
Yeah! Oh, yeah.
There comes a moment as you're inspecting this where you realise that where the snare does go into the soil, there's sort of like a plate that the trap sits on, and just as you're trying to, with your fingers probing the soil and find out the extent of how far this plate goes, you realise that you're already at sort of the lip of it, and underneath the lip you feel what is an obvious sort of trigger or mechanism, and as you press that, there is an immediate loosening of the snare. It would seem like when something has passed under this, whatever triggers the trap has that snare just drive itself deep into the ground, like pulling the creature's neck to the floor. And by you loosening it, that snare is suddenly loosened and is able to be pulled away from the panda's throat.
As Tim gingerly lifts the snare away, he looks at the red panda, and how injured is it? Does it seem like it could do all right in the wild?
There is rawness around the throat, and a bit of the fur seems to be slightly patchy and bare where rubbed raw. I would say, Tim, you've spent enough time working away at this for you to be fairly confident that the snare itself is made of silver.
Silver? Wow.
And it's sort of like licks its paws and tends to it, in a very like the way sort of raccoons wash themselves, sort of washes and rubs at its throat for a second before it sort of looks up at each of you all. You have my heartfelt thanks and gratitude.
Oh.
It speaks? Or...
It does.
Oh.
It sort of preens at itself.
You talk.
As do you, it seems.
I'm a little surprised by that too. Hi. What's your name?
It's a complex matter, but for simplicity's sake, you may call me Afulgans.
Aflugans?
Oh, sorry, I was targeting Precious there. So it looks like she said it.
Yeah, she completely understood and got that spelling completely correct at the first try.
Well, what are you doing out here, Flukens?
I was taking a jaunt. Thought I would stroll these forests, visit upon some friends, but to my great shame I found myself caught in a snare. A snare laid out indeed for one of my kind, so it would seem.
It's terrible.
What about yourselves? What business brings you here? Into this great wood?
We're looking for someone who might have stolen a young griffin.
And just tear. And you realise now that he's very, very small, but stood on all fours. Stood on two bipedal, and just juts a furry little nub of a paw, a pad over at the unconscious figure. It'll be that one then, shelling it onto the wretched clan.
The wretched clan?
The wretched clan.
Mostly goblins, but a druidic leader of sorts. Traffickers, peddlers of rare, exotic animals. Hence why I found myself, to my great shame, in one of their snares.
Well, if you don't mind my saying, you're certainly exotic. I've never met a red panda to begin with, but certainly not one that could.
I am not a red panda, my friend. This is merely the form I take now.
Ow!
Oh, you're like a shapeshifter?
No, nothing so substantial and limited to a plane. I'm of the Feywild, my boy.
Oh boy.
Oh,
I apologize.
this is all very confusing. I hope you understand. It's why are you here?
I simply fancied a stroll in the woods. As I said, I shouldn't have to explain it any more than that, should I?
You don't have to explain. It's such an honor to meet a Fae. I've read so many stories about you and your plane.
Yes, this figure over here. I see them around the woods. I see them setting their snares for magical and unusual creatures. Terrible fates, all of them. Mostly, well, there's a lot of potions and spell components that have magical uses. Young are usually easier to transport and tame. So
That is awful.
whatever you're missing may be on its way to being at an apothecary store.
It's terrible. They just take animals out of their home just to sell them to like rich nobles?
Or,
It's horrible.
create things out of them.
And the panda points a finger at Precious. She has the measure of it. These creatures that are stolen, their final fate is not to be a pet. It is to sit in a canoptic jar or a flask. Or an ointment on some rich noble's pimply arse.
That's very.
He
also
looks
very-
downright
very
horrified.
descriptive.
Sorry.
Do you know where the wreckers are? Where they might be? We'd really like to get that griffin back. As Tim puts a hand on Riley's shoulder.
Of course. It's about a day to the west, or east, I forgot. Of east. A day to the direction you were already travelling. It's getting late now. You'll have to camp out overnight near the river bend, I would imagine, but a few more hours beyond there and you come to the cavern.
Okay.
It's manned with goblins, though. There's a large number of goblins. Some he pays in coin, some he pays in flesh.
The goblins eat people, or they eat animals?
Either or both.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
I'm feeling rather lightheaded now, I'm afraid.
Are the goblins the ones from the clan, or is that led by the druid, or both?
The druid, Elgos Rivertrim.
He's the leader of the...
I've never seen a druid so fixated on making coin, if I can be frank. Seems sort of uncharacteristic for the calling.
Indeed. And are there more like this one, and she kicks the stranger with her foot?
How hard do you kick the stranger?
Not too hard, just...
Okay. No,
She's at this point tied up, right, Valley?
Yeah, I was thinking that while this was happening and Tim and Riley were doing their stuff with the Knots Valley would also be helping out Precious tie up the stranger.
I know this one's name is Odani, but I believe they are just freelance. Elgos will say what needs stealing from where, and Odani will infiltrate and take it.
Yeah.
And she must be the one who took placeholder.
Yeah. Precious is taking some of the pearls from her head and just like taking them away, as many as she can find.
If you're taking the time, you can take all of them. We'll say there's 20 pearls, 19 pearl style, although you can tell they just look to be utterly mundane. They are not actual pearls.
So they're not real pearls, they're just
no.
plastic?
Yeah.
Great. That way she's going to put them in her own hair. Otherwise she was going to give them away and to pay for animal rights or something. But since they're fake,
she'll just flex. Yeah, okay, yeah.
He will give Precious the one she had. Just so
Thank
it's
you.
full 20 of them.
Wow. Let's see how many things we can get in Precious's hair.
I'm sure you can find some twigs and leaves around here. Build a little fire.
So you intend to pursue this stolen griffin of yours and go to the caverns and confront Elgos?
The confrontation part reluctantly, but the griffin part enthusiastically.
Not reluctantly. These are bad people that we have to, run in and to do something. We can't just like tiptoe around this, Tim.
They
Very
are.
reluctantly.
They are indeed. And he points
Very
towards
reluctantly.
Odani. Will you kill this one?
Oh, no. I mean, my general policy is staying away from bad people. It's hard to stay away from someone who's dead. So,
I mean,
no.
Maybe we could tie her up and then we could bring her back to Candlekeep to put her in jail or something. Does Candlekeep actually have a jail?
It does. You would know that there are some cells there for. They normally have been used like when someone's been caught trying to, an outsider's been caught trying to steal until like guards can be caught, or on occasion, sadly, where a spell or something has gone awry and someone to need some temporary restraining or to let their mind be restored. There are, yes, cells.
Okay.
Well, maybe we should put it to a vote, though. I mean...
What do you mean? To murder someone?
When they're asleep? I mean,
Well-
we don't need to kill her. We can just tie her up and then... like Furcrag said, he'd tell the people at the keep. Zio must be following us, or someone else, or we can just tie her up and then when we rescue Placeholder, we can bring her back and put her in jail.
Okay, but just for argument's sake, what if she wakes up and escapes and starts trapping, killing, and torturing more magical creatures? What if after years in jail she's let go and does it all over again?
The panda nods. My vote is for death.
This isn't a voting thing. I'm not...
Slit her throat. She'll be at it again in no time.
It's a judgment. I think we're entitled to make a judgment of her actions.
No!
You see this little panda just folds its arms and just nods like she's talking a lot of sense. Sort of fashion over at Chija. In fact, it will walk over with its little footsteps and just stand next to Gija, nodding.
We're not going to.
Murder should not be paid back with murder. I don't care. And we're not people fit to pass judgment on anything. We're just students.
I find the prime material ways of thinking to be so interesting. Like for like, an eye for an eye. This is the way of the Feywild.
But an eye for an eye, that leaves the whole world blind.
A blind sight.
I feel
can't see
like
in the dark.
I think it's more about personal responsibility and choices. And this creature made her own choices, and we can make our ones.
Yes, we can make a choice to be better. To not murder someone. I don't understand how this is an argument.
I don't know if I would call it a murder.
Yes.
I don't also know how being in prison is better than being dead. But I understand your point, and I see your vote. I'm just saying I also have mine. And you should respect that.
We shouldn't be voting to murder someone. That is awful. That is so awful.
That's really, really fucked up, Precious. And that's actually the first time Volley has sworn. Just to give you an idea of how bad they feel about this.
Okay, so that's 2 for no. I understand. Riley?
Riley looks very concerned. I see your point, Precious. Like, I really do. And I'm really angry. And I kind of want to, but then I also know that it does count as murder, and that's not good.
What about if we make sure that she can never hurt a creature ever again?
Yes, take her hands.
Or her eyes.
Oh!
What the fuck?
That's...
I will do it for you if it eases your consciences.
It doesn't.
It eases nothing. This eases
That
nothing.
seems worse. Somehow.
Can I ask you something just really quickly, right? When we go to this camp full of goblins and a druid who are going to see us as their enemy because we will stop their operation of profiting from innocent baby animals, are we also just going to tie all of them? And I hope we can do that, and that we have enough rope.
If you kill them in combat, then it's different because you're doing it in self-defense.
I mean,
And
This is not self-defense. We are the attackers. We are the aggressors. We
So
are.
crimes of passion are admissible, and now we're merely negotiating the terms. Yes.
that's...
well, why?
It was so much easier living alone.
We can just take her weapons, and then O'Donnell can't hurt anyone. And
Why don't you just tie her up here, take her weapons with you, and we'll have this conversation on the way back when your friend is not in jeopardy.
No, yes, I agree with that to an extent, but no. You wanted a vote. You had it. 3-2. No murder.
Right.
I understand
Conversation's
that.
over.
You're trying to change the argument so that you can just...
No, guys,
What you want?
I'm serious. I'm done with this conversation. We're tying her up. We'll pick her up on the way back, okay?
Okay. Vali is going to start dragging O'Donnell over to this tree that they intended to tie the spellhound to.
Okay.
Can you give me a hand, Tim?
Yeah. As Tim helps Volley drag O'Donnell to the edge of the tree.
Tim, can you... Do you know the spell Skywrite at all?
I don't. I'm sorry. But we I have a piece of paper. We can leave a message. What do you want it to say?
I was just going to say that if you knew Skywrite, you could write in the sky to Instructor Zero or someone that we found a trapper and we've tied them up, but then someone else could also see that. I was just thinking of ways that we could tell the people back at Candlekeep so that we don't just leave Odani alone with someone like Flugans and he just kills her while we're not here.
I'd kill her now.
No.
I wouldn't wait until you snuck off. I'd be fine doing it right now.
No.
Yes,
You're right.
You've made that perfectly clear. We're doing this the mortal way, not the Fey way. There's no justice here, clearly. So it's fine.
Folly.
You have my
You're
word,
right.
I will spill no blood this day of Odani the thief.
Will you cause other harm to Odani the thief this day? Or the
No,
next
I'll
day?
be travelling with you.
Okay.
For a while.
Logan, I'll take that. Folly, you're right. I'm going to leave a quick note as Tim scribes on a scrap of paper that he attaches to the edge of Volley's coat. To whom it may concern, we're going after the baby griffin. This person is a criminal who deals in what would be a good word?
Reprobate.
Smuggler, murderer.
Rustler.
Animal who poaches. This person is a poacher.
A poacher.
Poacher and a criminal.
Have you guys searched her?
Oh,
That's a good idea.
Precious is definitely searching and taking anything from this woman.
Okay, yeah. They don't have very much on them at all, actually. You'd become aware that for the middle of the woods there is not even like a backpack in sight. They have on their person a long sword, a short sword, a heavy crossbow on the floor. It has 20 crossbow bolts that look to be particularly fine. And they were wearing a particularly trim set of splint armour. But that's it.
Ooh, armor. Is that medium armor?
I believe that splint is heavy. Yeah, it's heavy armour.
Ah, never mind. Precious is going to use minor illusion to create a green-black flare, almost like a small firework 30 feet up in the air, just to sort of see if maybe this will catch someone's attention if someone's looking for us in these woods.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Tim heals himself a little bit and then looks at everyone and says, "Okay, let's rest here for the night and then."
Well, remember, you've arrived here at near enough dawn after travelling through the night.
Right, dawn. That's right.
We want to take a short breather here and then push on until we can go
I'd
forward.
like to talk about strategy as we go forward.
That's fine.
Of course.
Well,
And
first,
I want to understand, what the position is with this druid.
Well, shall we have this conversation as we walk? I can lead us to a good place near the river bend. You have tents in those bags, yes?
Yes.
I can lead us to a good place which is only a few hours away on the river bend. It's downwind. You can rest for the night, make your strategy, and then strike whether that looks like in the morning.
Sure, that would be nice.
Very well then. And you return to walking. What is the marching order before we get down to RP? Who's leading the way?
I think Vali will lead the way and they'll also take the longsword of the
Okay.
stranger.
Tim will be in lockstep right behind Volley.
I've added the longsword to your... Oh, but I should have. Why is it not showing up? Oh, I have, yeah, it's looking at your favourites tab. Yeah, you now have the longsword in your inventory, Varley.
Groovy. Thank you.
Riley would be a few feet behind Tim.
Okay.
Precious is next to Riley a bit behind, and she's feeling a bit vulnerable. So Cutie's actually marching next to her, from time to time rubbing onto her leg.
Yeah. And Fulgans is walking behind you.
Tim looks at Riley and says, "Are you doing okay?"
There are some butterflies flying about. They flicker a bit. You kind of could take them for sparks. As Riley looks out at the forest around, and she just shrugs. I don't know. I'm worried.
Me too. Not like that's anything new, but well, I think maybe if we get to talking with people, we can work something out. Maybe we can make sure no one else gets hurt, and we can walk home and go to bed. I think that would be swell. just swell.
I just don't understand how people can hurt little animals for money. It just doesn't make sense.
I've been trying to make sense of the world for a long time now, and I gotta be honest, a lot of it just doesn't. Sometimes things happen without warning, and sometimes people do bad things for no reason. I don't get it either.
So you travel for most of the day. I won't make a survival check required because whenever you do start to stray from particular paths, a Fulgans puts you back on course. By the end of the day, you come to a bend in the river, which he tells you looks like an acceptable place to throw up a couple of tents and set up camp for the night. And a camp is set up. And it's at this point, as we're going about an hour and a half, that I would suggest we take 10 minutes and then come back and carry on.
All
right.
Sounds like a plan.
Okay, take 10 minutes and we'll be back very shortly.
Alright, I'll see you all then.
Wait a minute,
Right,
why are the
perfect.
lights here flickering? I
What?
kid, everything's fine.
Oh,
Never mind.
oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, back in 10. we are back. So, you travel for the day, and you set up camp in the evening at the edge of the river. You have amongst you three tents. Is anyone doing anything about setting a fire up for the night? It is a chill autumn night.
Let's see. Does Valley have a tinderbox or anything in their satchel? Oh, they do. Oh, I think since Valley has a tinderbox, they'll start gathering up some twigs and various dry leaves and small branches to try and build a little teepee in the middle of a clearing, put a few stones around it, using the leaves as their best attempt at kindling, and they're going to strike the flint a few times as they try and start a small fire in the clearing. Oops, that should not be private. And that's what they'll do.
Okay.
Precious might just take herself to gather some berries. Maybe if there's some around, some fruit from the trees.
Yeah, you can make a survival check to go and forage. Is there anything in particular you're looking for?
Well, a combination. Berries are her favorite, but maybe there's some nice mushrooms. Depends on what time of year we are, and I'm not sure we established that.
We are in autumn. That's why.
Then maybe some mushrooms or some spring onion.
Yeah. You definitely find several varieties of mushroom. With a 19, I'll also give you find a single truffle as well. But you can just you can smell it quite early, long before you can see it. Just you're very familiar. You went out with your aunts doing this. Sometimes we'd always have this unerring skill just to find, even mushrooms and other sort of natural fruits of the forest. But sometimes if you're even tangled in the undergrowth or below a carpet of leaves, they just seem to know where it was. And through subtlety and through practice and through a bit of harsh discipline, sometimes you seem to have picked up a knack for doing that too.
Ooh! Oh. This will really bring some players. He heads back.
Him isn't doing all that much. He's helping out with odds and ends around the camp. He'll help Volley fetch in some firewood, or he'll help set up some of the tents or get things organized. But really, he's just going through the motions and is clearly exhausted.
I would pay to see Tim try and put a tent up, to be honest.
I think Riley would
so
be
painful. It is
Riley
like
would be-
agony to watch. Yeah, Nikki?
Yes, sorry. Riley would be pretty much the same at the start, and then she would call Tim to put up the tents, and then Vali would be like, "God, these two really need help," and just help them.
No, it doesn't. No, one of the supports is supposed to go like that. It sticks out straight, right? I mean, it. Okay. No, the zipper got caught. Should we just start with just this one again?
Are the two of you okay there?
No.
I just heard what sounded like a shout of pain, and I was just wondering if everything's okay.
I keep getting tangled in this.
That's a bed sheet.
Why is this fabric so unwieldy?
It's so it keeps the rain off your head. That's why it's heavy.
I'm just saying, they should have had less physically inclined people in mind when they made this. Not everyone's, spends all their time kickboxing. Volley.
I don't spend all my time Okay, maybe
I
I can smart
know,
about them.
I know. It's either kickboxing or bookboxing. One of the two.
I'd think it'd be more like book busting, you know? But, okay.
Well, I prefer no busting because I like things intact. But apparently, this tent doesn't want to be.
Vali's going to look in the bags the tents came in. They're going to try and look for a little sheet of paper for the instructions. If there is any.
There are no instructions on how to assemble this tent. It seems that it has been assumed that...
Why do you think I'm having so much trouble, Volley?
But for the purposes of the map, we can say that you do eventually manage to get it sorted, because I can't delete these map assets, these tent assets.
No.
I would have thought you may have just not looked.
I would be offended, but it's a safe assumption. That being said, I think we're it's we got them up. We're good. Tents all ready after much tribulation and sacrifice. And now I'm ready to go to bed.
How
It's
sturdy
like
do these
this
tents look?
pile of nails that were there that I don't know where they go.
Wait, we were supposed to do something with the nails?
I mean, I guess they were there.
I'm sure it'll be fine. And I imagine, Volley, the tents look like a 5th grader set them up. As if anything stronger than a light breeze would cause them to cave inward. So, thanks to our master craftsmanship, we have somewhere to sleep tonight. Yeah?
Yes. We can call it master craftsmanship if you'd like.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
yes.
Oh, these tents look great. Well done, guys.
And
Thank you.
the red panda is sat on the on a log next to the fire and looks across you all like, we're close enough to the wretched cavern that I would suggest you set some sort of order to keep watch.
Oh, I'll keep an eye out first, because if I go down, I'm not getting back up.
I'll keep you company until the moon's at its peak. Then I shall be heading home. But you're merely several hours upriver, and you'll find yourselves at the cavern soon enough.
Okay.
How are you heading home? Is there a portal nearby?
At midnight I'll be able to make one at any tree. Any tree will do.
I actually have a question, Mr. Alfguns. You said you can choose your form. Does that also mean you choose your voice?
It's an absurd question. My voice is my voice. Why would I ever sound any different?
Well, your vocal cords are a part of your form. So
maybe yours are.
Oh, that raises interesting questions.
My
I don't
voice-
think I want answered.
My voice is my truth. No matter my form I take, my voice is mine. It's representative of me.
So if we met you in another form, you'd sound the same?
I think that'll be the most entertaining thing for everybody, so yes.
I find your voice really soothing. It's just very comforting.
It does remind me of someone who's rather suave and knows what they're doing, like a spy from one of those books I read.
Incredibly specific reference, Folly.
I don't know what you're talking about, Tim.
You're in a magical school full of arcane tomes, and you're reading books about mundane espionage. Personally,
Well,
I think
sometimes-
you're a fucking idiot.
Vali actually looks hurt by that.
I've got to make a reference to The Rock. Come on.
Fair enough. But there still hurts. 1 moment. They take 1 point of psychic damage.
It was either that.
As
It was
we-
either that or the winners go home and fuck the prom queen quote from the same film. Yes, precious.
Well, I just thought, as we have a very esteemed guest from the Feywild, whenever we rest, I sometimes like to sing a song. It tends to lift the spirits up. And Precious starts to sing a song, which is going to count as her song of rest. I know it doesn't apply because it's not a short blah, 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 but for flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be in Sylvan.
Mm.
And it's a song about lost ones and those who find themselves in a place where they are strange and different and lost. It's just an old song she memorized from home.
Okay.
That's a very nice song, Precious.
Fulgen sort
Thank
of
you.
tips his head at you a little bit. You spoke Sylvan before you spoke Common, didn't you?
I think that was the first language I ever spoke. I've definitely grown up with both.
Yes. Who raised you? Did you speak Sylvan so fluently?
My aunties. I think they were told by their parents, and now they passed it on to me. I think.
Make an insight check. Everyone.
You got it, Chief.
Precious too?
Yeah.
Oh.
Tim sees through the lies of the Jedi.
Everyone except Riley would notice that on his furry little face, he looks like he kind of questions an element of perhaps not Precious's specific intent, but some of the background of what she just said. And if you just sort of chews on it for a moment, and you notice that he clearly has a moment where he thinks to say something and then decides against it and changes tack. It's like, so it's to be me and Tim taking first watch. Who'll be next?
Who next?
I don't mind.
Okay.
I could do next.
I
Very
can
well.
take last watch. I usually wake up pretty early anyway.
Very well then.
If you're sure.
Yeah, it's fine.
I could take the first watch, Tim, if you want to sleep all night.
No,
no.
It's all right. But thank you, Riley.
I'm guessing we would still sleep long enough to get a long rest?
Oh
or is
yeah,
it-
yeah. Even
Yeah, okay.
even handling watches. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, fine. Yeah.
Then if any of you
I don't
are
mind.
sleeping past midnight, we will not see each other again today. And you have again my gratitude for your assistance. I suddenly remembered my Charlemagne.
And you have my gratitude for getting me to ponder questions I'm not altogether sure I want to.
Before he goes, he has seen QT, right?
Yeah, he's doing a watch with you. If you're doing second watch, so you've got some alone time with me.
Oh, right. Okay, fine.
Fare thee well, and safe travels. Try not to get stuck in another trap.
It was good to meet you.
Good luck in your adventure to recover your feathered friend. And just remember, and he leans over towards Riley a little bit, like, a rolling stone gathers no moss. And gives you a nod, like that's something that should carry great meaning for you.
Riley nods, trying not to show her confusion.
So who's heading to bed now? Everyone except Tim, is it, for first watch?
Yes, sir.
Valley's gonna swipe a tent.
Well, I
Sorry,
imagine
Tim.
whoever's not sleeping. So Tim, is there anything you want to do during your watch with the Fulgans, or are you just trying to just keep to yourself and wait for the time to pass?
Tim, as everyone goes to bed, is going to sit by the edge of the campfire and look up at the sky. Is it a cloudy night or a starry night?
It is a very starry night.
Then Tim's going to look out at the sky, look to Alphina's, and say, What do you think's out there? And the stars, I mean.
So sort of like looks up for a second, like, the space between spaces. Why? What? You do know it's the space between spaces, yes?
I'm afraid I don't know what that means.
The space between planes, between worlds, between. I mean, you know this. This is. Do you people not know this?
No. Now I.
Then I don't know. I've no idea. Who knows? Just another one of those great mysteries, I presume.
Are things really mysterious to you? I don't know much about the Feywild. It hasn't come up in my readings. What is life all about there?
Right. It's simpler. Some things carry more weight than they do here. The law is the law. Justice is straight and simple. None of us standing around quibbling over the fates of thieves. Your word is your bond. Blood is your truth. An exchange is simple and equitable. Also, a lot of the plants talk.
Part of me does like the sound of simple, but I think I'd prefer it here.
Hey, not everyone's made for it, and forgive me, you seem particularly human even for a human.
I'll take that as a compliment. I'm not really altogether fit for this kind of activity. It doesn't sit well with me.
Your word's not mine, friend.
Yeah, they're certainly mine. That being said, I have to wonder. To you, from your Fayish perspective, what would you say it's all about? Life, I mean.
Protecting the things you are assigned to protect. Destroying the things you are destined to destroy. Fulfilling your promises and maintaining your oaths. And as some would say, a lot of suffering.
That's oddly comforting. Thank you, Alphnos. As Tim falls into a lulled, comfortable silence.
Okay. Make me a perception check with disadvantage to summarise your watch. You have no dark vision or goggles or anything, do you?
Certainly not.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, your watch passes mostly uneventfully.
Oh.
You do hear at one point near the end of your watch, when you're not quite sure if you're starting to fall into a bit of a lull or a reverie, you do just hear a brief but it just jolts you awake. But you see that a Fulgans is just sat there, arms folded, staring at the fire, and doesn't seem to have reacted.
Okay. Well, I think that's good cue for me to end my time with you, Alphnos. It was nice meeting you. And if we do again, I'll consider it a pleasure.
Yes, take care of yourself.
I plan to. Good night. As Tim goes, rustles enough noise to wake Precious up, and then slips into the unoccupied tent and immediately falls into a blissful, peaceful sleep.
So, quiet night?
Yes, once your friend stopped asking me the great mysteries of creation and existence and the purpose of life.
Well, Tim's a thinker.
He sort of lowers his
Precious
voice. They haven't thought too much about you, though, have they?
I think they think too much. I sometimes worry they think I'm strange. They certainly think this little fella is strange, as Cutie kind of comes off her elbow, the joint between the elbow, and materializes.
Yes. As I thought, yes.
I find it very difficult because I feel like what makes me me is also what makes them want to be less close to me, and I haven't figured out how to deal with that. Anyway, I don't know why I'm telling you this. Sorry, I didn't burden you with my troubles.
Well, birds of a feather flock together. We can discuss these things, you and I, as equals.
She raises an eyebrow. What do you mean?
People worldly with experience of the Fae.
Oh, I don't have a lot of experience with the Fae. I just, heard some stories.
I see. Forgive me then. I was mistaken. And he just pokes a little twig into the fire.
No, just plain old Precious. It's a bit of a weird one. Anyway.
Do you push any other conversation, or do you settle into the quiet of your watch?
I think she'll spend some time sort of quietly contemplating the fact that she's in the forest at night. She finds it maybe she's a bit homesick, maybe. So she might share that. But she's got dark vision, so she's also keeping an eye around.
Then can she make a perception check, just regular, please?
Ooh!
Yeah. You get into a good position where you've got a view up and down the river. You realise it'd be very difficult for you to be sort of jumped from this position. You do notice at one point a couple of deer sort of approach the river from the far side to lean down and drink from the stream, and you lock eyes with them for a moment before they go bounding off. But other than that, your watch is uneventful. At the end of it, a Fulgens sort of looks up to the moon, which is now at the highest point in the sky. So, well, it is the boundary between the old day and the new. The start of a new day, and so I will be taking my leave.
Can I watch you do it? Just to relief?
Yes, of course. It's an unusual question, a strange request, but I will permit it on this occasion. And
I'm
he
grateful.
walks over to the nearest tree, which you watch him walk over to. It's clear which tree he's walking to, and you see that it is a mundane tree. But as he's there, you just suddenly notice, but in fact, no. Maybe it was, maybe it never was, maybe you were mistaken. But there is now a dark green door with like a door frame of vines on it and a handle of sort of gnarled, twisted wood. And he opens the door, and you see like it's a panda-sized door, and you see like a faint green and yellow glow coming from inside. It's like, until we speak again.
Good travels, and try not to step on any snares.
Indeed. And he will step through and close the door. And as he does, there is a gust and a scattering of leaves that come through. Like very, very fresh sort of spring leaves, and a large amount of what looks like cherry blossom despite the autumn season. And yeah, Effulgence is gone.
Oh, who was the next one to watch? She takes a moment with QT and kind of does that thing of like nuzzling nose to nose. Do we wake Valley up? They said they would be third, is that right?
Do Varley or Riley want to do anything specific RP wise during their respective solo watches?
Value will mostly take watch, probably think to themselves a bit. If Riley wants to do something, I'll gladly give it over to Nikki.
What do we think, Nikki? You're currently muted if you're talking.
Sorry, yeah. I'm good.
Okay. Happy for me to skip through the night then if you haven't got any specific RP you want to achieve?
Value is
Yeah.
something small.
Oh, yeah, go for it, Ben. So yeah, Riley does their watch, her watch, and then it comes to Varley's. What do they want to do?
Valley's just going to wake up when when Precious metaphorically knocks on the door. Says, "Oh, sun's coming up soon. You should get some sleep before it gets too late."
Yeah, I will. Take care out there.
You'll be fine. And Valley sits on the log there, and they're just going to turn their longsword that they took from O'Donnell over in their hands, and they're going to mutter to themselves, "Well, guys, let's see if what you told me is true." And they're going to run their hand over the blade, and frost rhymes the blade as their voice drops several octaves. And they'll say, "Yell that run yell that scat yell that groth yell that kneel," sort of mumbling that. And as they say that, no one's awake to hear it, but their lips split and a bit of blood drips down as though they've bit their lip open. And they feel slight pain in their mouth, and with their thumb, they just wiggle their tooth, and they find that one of their teeth has come loose just saying those words of power. And the hoarfrost on the longsword fades, and they just test the weight, and they find it perfectly balanced, almost a bit lighter in their hands.
Excellent. Well, the dawn comes. Everyone is able to apply a long rest to themselves.
Oh, that's so weird. I've been so
Wonderful.
used to not getting long rests in the wilderness.
At the end of the long rest and before she comes out, Precious is going to take out that little tiny vial and see that it's lost its sort of vibrant red sparkly energy. So she will frown and spit into it again, at which point it will start glowing again with a renewed intensity.
Okay. So yeah, everyone is rested up. You have your instructions from Afulgans that the cavern is but a couple of hours away. Is there anything you want to do before you head to the cavern? And I give you fair warning that we enter the dungeon phase of this session.
Yeah!
Gasp. Nothing I can think of to do, no.
Let's go.
Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
We have the silver snare, right? We've taken that with us.
No one mentioned it, but we can absolutely say that you have.
Should we just assign it to someone? Just because I think it might come handy at some point.
You can have it, Precious.
Sure, she'll carry it.
So, you follow the river upstream as specified, and eventually you reach a point in the undergrowth where you see a cave entrance ahead. So you see a cave entrance. You see, well, basically this cave has 3 holes. One appears to be just a normal like path leading into the darkness of the cave. You see there is another opening where a torrent of water pours out of the cave. Clearly it begins in the mountains above and filters down through this cavern and is the source of the river. You do also see, over to your far left, wooden platforming at a higher opening, suggesting that some sort of platform has been built somewhere in the cave. When I load the map, I will tell you that the squares you are currently in represent the edge of the map, and to move any further without planning or discussion may warrant consequences, such as being seen.
Roger.
Hold on.
It's
Just,
time for
let
blood.
me just sort something else out. There's a little issue here that I'm just quickly fixing.
Everyone, I don't know if this would be useful, but I can make myself look like that woman that we captured.
Oh, you can disguise
You can?
yourself?
I can. Yeah.
Incredibly useful.
That's very useful.
I don't really know what the purpose would be other than infiltration, but well, I could maybe send you a message of what I find inside. I don't know.
If you could, maybe that's the best idea. If we know exactly where placeholder is, you could go in and see how many people there are, so we won't be surprised and caught off guard.
I wouldn't want to go in there alone, but I could make one of you invisible. It only lasts about an hour, but
I can make myself invisible, so that's at least 3 of us.
I can't go invisible, but I'd like to think I'm pretty quiet. Valley says with her stealth proficiency.
I can also be quiet, but I would rather be invisible if I have a choice.
Precious.
Mhm.
Could you make 2 people invisible, or no?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
This is Jijo saying, nope, I only have level 2 spell slots.
Yep, no, I got you. Well, okay, how about Folly? You hang back probably about 10 paces from us, wherever we go. Wherever the shadows lead,
Wow.
wherever you can best hide. Riley, I think it'd be smart if you and me both kept a hand on each other. Since we're both invisible, we wouldn't know where the other is. So just to avoid any accidental collisions. And we should stay just a little bit behind you, Precious. Does that sound like a plan, everyone?
Yeah.
If things go wrong, do we have like a code
You know,
word for when we actually go?
I could actually, I think I could change my appearance as well. I haven't tried it, but I think I could.
Oh?
We could say you're my new apprentice.
Or can you disguise yourself as like perhaps an animal, and we could pretend that O'Donnell has just captured an animal or something?
Does anyone remember was there any description we were given about the dwarf druid?
No, we don't. And he might be in there already, so...
No. That my idea was perhaps a dwarf druid of a similar kind, a similar clan, but I don't think an animal would work. It's worth a shot.
It would perhaps be the same size as I am, like in the same like.
As you're talking from this safe distance I've described, perhaps in the undergrowth, you do see for a moment on the wooden platform a figure just pop up and appear for a moment, looking around. Just scans around the environment, holding a bow for a second, before just disappearing back inside.
Would you mind pinging where the wooden platform is? I'm not sure if I'm not seeing it on the map.
Oh yeah, that's an interesting... yes, I see why. It's a height issue. Oh my god, my mouse is fighting against me today. It is here.
Okay. So it's about 10 feet up right there or so?
It is... I'll tell you exactly how high up it is now. It is... Doesn't actually say... Oh, 20 feet. 20 feet up off the floor.
Actually, that will inform this. Valley's going to look to the others and say, I could probably get up onto that platform if you want me to.
Well,
if Raleigh can disguise herself as an apprentice or as an animal, and Tim can go invisible, and Precious can make me invisible, then I could sneak up there and see if there's anything else around.
That's a good idea. I see no issue with it.
Wait, Valley, take this. And she is going to take out one of her molars. With a bit of effort. Suck the blood out so that it's clean, and maybe clean it a bit on her dress. Here, as you know, I can talk to you if you carry this.
Okay. Valley's going to hold that molar with, like it's rather toxic. They're a bit unsettled by this, hypocritically considering they were literally slightly almost broke their own molar when no one was around, but they will slide into their pocket.
Don't worry, it'll grow again. It's not a problem.
Okay, and contingency. If we're seen, if something goes awry, I'm going to throw up the image of a wall directly in front of us. Give us time to reposition, reconvene, do whatever we have to do. Does that sound good?
Yep. Do we have any code words you want to use? Anything to yell out if things go wrong? I mean,
if things go wrong, yell, things have gone wrong. I think that's a...
What about something more discreet, like placeholder?
Or something...
What if we see placeholder?
No, I like that. I like that.
Okay. Or maybe, like, if you're in disguise and you don't want alert that you're just calling out, so maybe just something like, I don't know, I saw a red panda. Maybe next time I'll get a red panda, catch a red panda, or something like that. I don't know. Or fake sneezing? I'm not sure.
I think if things have gone wrong, I'll know, because I'll be right there. And we can just find a way to tell you.
Okay. Let's commit to a plan of action then. So, a quick out-of-character summary. What are each of us doing? How are we proceeding?
Invisible.
First disguise self.
So,
she looks
Precious
exactly...
Precious is describing herself as Odani, yeah?
Yes.
And what's the duration of that? That's it's an hour for you, isn't it, I think?
It's an hour, yeah. And it's innate.
I'm going to change it to the disease just because Savio token stands out. Riley is doing what?
Alter self casting.
Making yourself look like?
Let's say, I don't know. I mean,
I may to offer a suggestion.
An animal,
that you might...
like.
Okay. A suggestion I was going to offer, feel free to disagree, is you are goblin-sized, and you know there are goblins in here. I don't know if you were looking to be more an actual animal like you've been caught.
Precious. What act do we want to put on?
Well, with the goblin, I'd always be worried that they wouldn't know who you are.
Yeah.
We don't know how big or little this clan is, but I think maybe she's scaling up the operation and bringing you in. Do you think you could pretend like you really hate magical creatures, or maybe we play with your expertise of magical creatures? You know how good you are with them, and this is why I brought you into the operation. Sometimes the best lies are close to the truth.
I'm bad at lying, but we can go with that.
Okay,
so maybe you stay truthful, and I'll just spin the reality as convenient as possible.
All right.
Okay, so it's back, but you going with goblin, are you, Nikki?
Okay. Mhm.
Okay, so it's disguised as a mem too. Tim, what are you doing?
Invisible.
And Varley?
Varley was going to go, or I believe Precious was going to cast invisibility on them, but before that, Varley is going to cast Armor of Agathis on themselves.
Okay, pop it off.
As ice rhymes all around their body, and they get 10 temporary hit points.
And your invisibility is a minute duration on you, isn't it? Trying to remember.
No,
an hour.
It's an hour.
Is it an hour? Yeah. I can't remember. I thought one of them for some reason was
it's
a minute.
greater.
Okay, so
this is a proper spell.
Yeah, so we now have two people. We have Odani with a goblin, and the other two are gone. So we will enter the active phase of a dungeon. Proceed as you wish to.
One more preparation.
It's like Bartandalus is here. Go on.
Sorry. Listen, you need to commit to the piece. I need a prop.
Of course.
So I'm going to summon QT and say, "I'm so sorry, but you need to play the part. Is that okay?" Hopefully QT consents. All right.
That's a good idea.
I love you very much. And she puts him in the bag and carries the bag as if, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that works. How are we proceeding, man? Start moving if you want it.
Is there a place on this river that is about 8 feet across?
I'm
thinking
doesn't look like far. Yeah, I suppose we could just about say that part. Is that your jumping distance, basically?
Yep.
Yes, you can jump the river.
Valley's going to jump the river over here. And they are going to sneak up towards the platform here.
Okay.
All right, Riley. Deep breaths.
So, first of all, Varley, make me an athletics. Oh no, you can acrobatics it as monk, can't you? Which one are you looking to do?
Probably acrobatically climb up the underside of the platform and just sort of, Splinter Cell, peek over the edge. Look, see if anything's there.
Make me acrobatics. Yeah, you get up there as you scale the stonework and then have to like grab onto or pull yourself up onto the wooden platforms. There's the slightest noise out of it. As you poke your head over, you see there are 2 goblins sat on the wooden platform that have both heard the noise of like the wood just being grabbed in a creak. But you see like that one of them has kind of like half let go of his bow and has like steadied its hand on like the stone wall. Like clearly they haven't equated it with someone climbing up. They've equated it with, whoa, is the platform a little bit wobbly? And they sort of like look into each other. It's like, bad build. I don't care. You check now. You check now. And another one steps close to the edge again, like inches away from you, and just sort of peers around in the distance with a bow again, before stepping back like, nothing see. And beyond the platform, calls down, and you can sort of see from, although you can't see down into what's on the other side of the platform, you can see that it's a stone room, and you can see light coming up from the floor in a way that makes it clear that there is a campfire somewhere in this room. Still nothing. No, don't know where she is. Anything else you wish to do, Varley, before we pan over to the others?
Valley's going to hold there for a
Yeah,
moment.
so you are effectively... I'll move you through just so you can see. You are effectively hovered there.
Okay.
Slight bit more vision than you should have gotten there, but...
That's okay.
A lot more than you should have gotten. Let me just...
Oh, I didn't see that.
Oh, cool. Okay, I think... good.
Also, fog
meanwhile,
exposure, so I don't see it.
Is there something I can do before we get seen, or is it too late?
you haven't been seen yet.
Ah,
You are just stepping
Tim.
in.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with things seen, ideally.
Tim, are you here? Tim.
Tim lightly grips your shoulder and gives it a squeeze.
It is not going dark outside. I'm just applying this for view distances in the cave.
He lightly whispers in your ear, I'm here. Just stay confident. Stay strong. I'm right back.
There might be a moment. I'm gonna try to get us alone with the druid, but there might be a moment where you should strike first. Just don't leave us hanging, okay?
Tim squeezes your shoulder but doesn't give a verbal response.
Excellent. That's it.
Okay. As you step in further, you see thick foliage to your right. And there is a moment of silence before the foliage begins to part, and you hear a and a large serpentine creature begins to emerge, and with zero hesitation lunges straight towards you, Odani.
Oh dear.
I need the three of you to roll initiative.
Oh,
sorry,
Lord.
and Tim. So yeah, there we go.
Well, that was fast.
Oh, Riley's in combat twice. Are there two Rileys on this map? Huh. I don't know how that's happened. Yeah, but begin combat. Riley's up. Well, the goblin is up. You just see this snake-like creature come out of the wall, open up this tentacled maw of hooks, and leap out, clearly intending to strike at Odani.
Okay, first question. Am I supposed to be seeing nothing?
Just
my token?
Oh, wow, yeah. What's your dark vision? Do you have dark vision normally?
No. I
Halflings
have
don't do
normal
it.
vision.
That would be... Okay, so... I'm going to give you 15 feet of it. It's a difficult thing of lighting inside the cave. It's obviously daytime, so that's a fair amount. So yeah, you can see there, can't you? The creature beginning to come up the wall.
Yeah. Okay, and I assume I would be like somewhere here.
Yeah.
Because I didn't move before, because I didn't see anything. Okay, and this creature isn't supposed to be on the combat tracker?
Oh, sorry, it is, because it was hidden when I added it on. It wasn't there. Now it is.
All right.
So
Oh, God.
what do you want to do? Quickly now, Riley.
Okay, I am elementally blasting it.
Okay. Misses, goes wide, hits into the foliage.
Shit. And yeah, that would be it.
Okay. The creature uncoils forward and slashes out at Odani. First of all, it strikes out of its tentacles. These hooks clearly trying to dig in and grab onto Odani. Hits.
Ow!
And then, with these tentacles dug in, it suddenly tries to rip her forward towards it, the maw opening up, coming in for a huge bite with a beak.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Well, at least that gives Tim something to do.
Yeah, of
Why?
course, yeah.
No,
Tim,
no, it's on Valley, actually.
Yep.
What's on
Valley's
Valley?
not visible.
Oh, shh. Well. Okay, right. So it pulls her in and tries to bite it. And that fails. It badly misses it. It pulls in with too much force and the beak actually goes past it. Before we continue, perched onto the edge of this platform, Varley suddenly just... Oh, wrong button. Varley just... They come back into view. And you just see, stood in front of you, Varley, two shocked, incredulous-looking goblins stood there with bows looking down at you. We're going to add the three of you into this combat tracker as well.
Oh, okay. So, oh, there's two goblins there. I thought that two goblins were over there. Oh, okay. That explains a bit.
Yeah, because you were inches away from them, remember?
Ah, right. Then you mentioned them going down. I misunderstood. Okay. All's well.
Okay. None of you will act this turn anyway. Precious, it's you. Sorry, Alter Self doesn't fade on damage taken, does it?
I don't believe so.
No, I
This
don't
guy's
think- I
self,
don't think it
it's
did.
not concentration. It's
Yeah.
This
just a
guy's.
thing.
Oh.
It's
Okay.
an investigation check for them, but okay.
So
well,
yeah,
this
Precious,
is
it's you. Tim Visible, you're next.
terrible. Really, really terrible.
Wait, I'm visible?
No, Tim Visible, because you're invisible.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna try inflict wounds. So
Okay.
I'm just gonna try that.
Oh,
Ooh.
definitely hits. You just see. Well, tell me how you do the spell first of all. You
Well,
give me a
again,
flavor.
she's sort of like she was taken by surprise. This thing is gonna come behind her, so she's gonna just like her claws again like elongate with this weird ichor, and she's just gonna like slash at it and hopefully take bits of him out.
Yeah, you just see this. The scales are like quite often when things with scales are damaged. You know, the scales are prized off whole or dislodged, but you actually, with this rend of your claws empowered by the spell, you actually just shred through scales. You see some scales are just like severed, and putrid, dark green sort of bile and pus begins to pour out, and the creature just clearly tries to recoil and shimmy backwards.
Okay, she's going to position herself in a way where Riley can also take an attack if she's coming this way.
Yeah.
Maybe just like a little bit, shift a bit.
I will give you that did a huge amount of damage to the Grick.
Should have done it level 2. Yeah, she's angry.
Is she angry?
Okay.
What's
Yeah,
that
she's
look
angry.
like? Does she say or do anything?
No.
Okay. Make me a perception check, please, Precious. You hear from the south and sort of like arguing and bickering for a few moments. Went, shh, 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 and it's just quiet.
Brace yourself, we might have company.
Okay, Tim,
Stick
it's
to
you.
the plan.
Riley, you're next. What are you doing, Invisible Tim?
Oh, no. Can Tim hear the sounds of the goblins from the east, the ones with volley?
Yes.
Tim looks at Precious, having just seen her rake through this animal's hide. He gives a nod of confidence as he begins to back away and run towards Volley, having heard the sounds of the goblins chittering.
Plunges into the river. You'll be swimming across the river, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Make me an athletics check.
Come on, Timmy, don't fail me now.
DC 14. Nice. You feel the strong rush of the river trying to barrel you downstream. It's coming down from a waterfall here, so it's travelling at quite force. But your determination, you manage to not be pushed downstream by it as you go. And yeah, you make it over. Difficult terrain. Getting in and out, I believe, so a bit of your movement compromised.
Yeah, and dash as my action to get as far as I can, and that'll be the end of my turn.
Cool, okay. Top of the round. Riley, it's you.
Okay, first of all, I just saw that Alter Self requires concentration, so if I just cast it right now, will it apply? Yes, okay. And as Riley kind of processes what is happening, she will try to get a better look at this creature and see if she knows anything about what it is and how to maybe tame it.
Tame it? Ooh.
Or at least calm it down.
Okay, make me a nature check.
Ooh.
I would say from reading books, weirdly, not so much a book on creatures, but a book on stonework and the dangers of spelunking that you've read once, you would know that this is a grick. A grick is a vicious opportunity ambush predator. You don't know of any ways to calm them down, but you have read that they are intelligent enough to have been trained by a lot of underground communities, normally to either attack or refrain from attacking if certain audio commands are given.
Shit.
So you could possibly gather that where this has been, it perhaps has been trained to attack anyone who does not do a certain thing on entry. Anything else from Riley?
I will relay that to Precious in a whisper.
Okay.
I think that we were supposed to give it a password.
Okay, I think we're supposed to kill it now, though.
The time for password. We're passwords. We are past words.
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay, did that count as an action? Or,
It did,
or
yeah.
bonus action,
Take him a time to recall that knowledge and do your own sort of mental research. That would be your action, yeah.
Okay, so that will be it.
Okay. Over here. What the fuck? It is going to... The one in front of you is going to drop its bow and reach for its short sword and make a single clumsy swing at you, Varley.
Do it. Do it.
Which normally... Oh yeah, in fact it has its companion next to it. These sort of cling around together and are working in tandem, and one sort of digs in and harries, so it's going to strike at you like it has some sort of pack tactic.
Oh, yeah.
Ah! Get down! Get down! What do you want? Get out of here! It misses and goes wide.
Valley leans back as the sword swings for their face.
And it makes a second swing. And this one connects. I say get down! You're not coming here!
Valley takes 1 point of damage, and that goblin takes 10.
1 point of damage of a crit. Yes, the armor of Agathis goes up and explodes. Well, you tell me how you want your Agathis to be flavored, actually, friend.
As the goblin swings their sword at Valley, the frost that was rhyming them almost catches the blade, and as the blade strikes their skin, it almost freezes in place as the frost hurries up the blade as though it's just shoved into a big bottle, into a freezer, and freezes parts of the goblin's arm.
Okay. It screams and tries to twist away from you, and it is going to use its nimble escape to bonus action disengage, and it just scuttles away out of sight here. Baddies come! Baddies come! That's its turn. Varley, it's you. You are clung to the edge of a platform. You are, in reference to these two, you would technically be currently counted prone to them, but you can climb up to their level without getting an attack opportunity.
Valley's going to do that.
Yep.
They're going to.
I don't know if you can move over. There we go. You are no longer prone.
Yep. Valley's going to swing up onto there, and they're going to draw their longsword, and they are going to look at this goblin, and they're going to see all the goblins over there.
Yes, who are now clamoring and pointing up and being alerted.
And knowing that Precious and the others are presumably in trouble, time for discretion is the better part of valor, I think. They're going to start with 2 longsword attacks on this goblin here. I did not have that on my inventory properly. Alright. 1. And then 2.
Big Horny is slow! Big Horny is so slow!
And they are going to step over here. And they are going to... Wait, sorry, I can't do that. Never mind. They won't step over there. They are going to do... 2 unarmed strikes. Why not? For a key point. And here we go. There we go. And
No, wait! Was kidding! Not slow!
Valley swings her sword in a big arc, and still a bit unused to it. And then they punch the goblin right in the face, and then go for an elbow.
How many attacks do you even have? Oh God!
Oh, that's the second one. That should have... For 5 more damage onto the scout here.
That needs to do it manually, yeah?
Yep,
It is done. Looks in a bad way. Bangs off the wall a little bit, very blooded. Oh, you're in trouble now.
No, I'm not. And Valley's going to jump off the side.
Opportunity attack as you
Sure.
head out of their range. A lazy. In fact, no, because they haven't drawn. They've got only got a short bow. So yeah.
All right.
Okay, back to you.
Yep. And they're going to look at Tim and say, oh, wait, they don't know Tim's there. All right. They're going to start hurrying.
You hear a soft exclamation of surprise as you land on the grassy floor.
Remember, it's 20-foot drop there. So what is your safe fall distance? Do you have slow fall yet? I can't remember.
It is 5 times monk level, so unless I roll 25 on 2d6, I'll be fine.
Okay, yeah. Is that the extent of your movement?
That's all they're moving right now, I think.
Okay. 2 arrows rapidly follow you.
Oh, okay.
As it's his turn.
Valley's going to catch that arrow. Wait,
Oh,
never mind.
yeah.
They don't need to, because
Okay.
they're going to catch a second arrow with their reaction,
Yeah.
which will be not an attack. that was meant to be something else. It will
Well, hold on. I need to do the damage, don't I, to see if...
Yep.
Let's have a look. Yeah, you rolled higher than a 3, so I'll pop that 3 back onto you.
Yep.
So yeah, you have caught the arrow. Do you do anything with it?
Nah, they won't make an attack with that.
Okay.
They just snatch the arrow out of the air and snap it in their hand.
You hear Tim coming from over the platform. Just cries and shouts of commotion within the caverns. Why can I not do that? That's very unusual.
Okay.
Something is wrong. There we go. That's better.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot.
The Grick strikes out at Odani again. First with those tentacles. Looks to be a hit. Those hooked tentacles dig in deep and drag her forward as it opens up for another attempt at a bite with the beak. This time, hitting, the beak clamps down on the shoulder, and you just feel flesh, bone, and sinew starting to be carved, Precious. That's all it's going to do.
Darn.
It is now you, Precious.
How is it looking?
It was reeling from the inflict wounds you did, didn't it?
Alright, I'm going to... I haven't thought about how to flavor this, but I'll need it to make me an int save, please.
It needs to make a what, sorry?
An int save.
You need this to make an insight check.
Intelligence check.
Oh, sorry. Int save. I thought you were saying insight. I was like, what ability is this? It rolls a 7.
Great, so it takes 2d6 damage.
Okay, you roll the amount, I'll apply it. Okay.
Is it dead?
No.
Hold on, I'm just trying to see if this is a bonus action or not. Can't find it. There, telepathic message. No, as an action. Shite! Okay. Okay.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. Tim, what are you doing?
Do you mind redescribing the construction that Volley climbed up for me?
Yeah, so it's 20 foot of just stone cliff face, and there is an opening into the cave there. It's about 15 foot across, and you can see sort of overhanging that clearly some sort of wooden scout platform or lookout post has been constructed in that open mouth of the cave.
How stable does this lookout post look?
It looks stable, which is why the goblins were so surprised before when there was a bit of creaking and movement on it.
Okay.
It does not extend. It does not extend down to the floor. It is built in like a high up opening in the cave. So were you to destroy the wooden platform, it wouldn't be like opening a way up down to the floor.
Yeah, I didn't figure.
Yeah.
Tim is then going to... He's going to have to risk the river again, as he's going to move up to its narrowest point and then begin to wade through.
Okay, make an athletics check. How much more movement did you have?
10 more feet.
10 more feet. So for every 10 feet over you go, you are carried. So every 5 feet, you are carried a further 10 feet down river. So you make it over. Oh god, so the scroll went the scroll went crazy. I think we're both trying to move at the same time. I was placing you. You hit the other bank here.
Oh, okay. Then, dash, and that will be my turn.
Okay. We can fit one more round then. If everyone thinks what their actions are going to be now, please, to make it a quick round. A lot of it, if there was many actors, a lot of it will would not be. You hear cries coming from further down in the cave as things are clearly coming. An alarm has been raised. Riley, it's you. Volley, you're soon.
Gotcha.
What's Riley going to do?
This is a reach, but a rolling stone gathers no moss? I say, and as nothing happens...
yeah, nothing happens.
Unless something happens.
No, I'm afraid nothing happens.
Okay, then I am attempting to blast.
Hits.
Finally. And I will spend 2 side points to amplify it.
Nice.
Although 1 probably will be enough.
So we're adding an extra.
Hopefully.
So did you? Are you adding more
Just
damage
1.
on top of that?
No, that's the added damage.
Of course, that's the damage. Okay, it's still clinging on.
Shit.
Okay, anything else from Riley?
No, that's it.
Okay. Meanwhile. It could bonus action. Oh no, it can't bonus action dash, can it? It's only bonus action. Okay, so that gets up, but it does not have the ability to fire at Volley. Volley, it's you.
Volley's going to take 1 step back. They're going to take a deep breath, look across the river. They saw Tim get swept down. They don't want to get separated from everyone else. And they are going to Step of the Wind.
Step of the Wind.
Their jump distance is now tripled, along with other things. And they're going to do a running jump. And as they jump across the river, right as their feet were about to touch the water, ice is going to appear underneath them as though a stepping stone appeared midair, and they're going to do essentially a double jump in midair. And then another stepping stone of ice, and they're going to clear the river.
Yeah, they just vault right over it and land on the other side.
And let me just check how much movement I got left. That is 25 feet. 40 feet will get me right next to Tim. Alright. And then they're going to use bonus action dash to get right next to Precious. Main action
is Step of the Wind itself not a bonus?
Step of the Wind is... You can use dash or disengage as a bonus action. The jump distance is doubled as just a freebie.
Of course. So you've used it for the jump, and then you've bonused that. Yeah, I get it. Cool.
Yep. And they are going to jump in, pressing off against the wall here to clear over Riley's head, and they're going to bring the longsword down in 1 attack against the Grick. I forgot to target it.
Let me have a look. Let's see. That hits.
With 2 hands.
Roll damage manually, and I'll apply it to the Grick. So some poor scout doesn't just explode in another room. Yeah, tell me how you kill the Grick.
They're going to still running as they push off against the wall, and ice rhymes their blade as they bring it down with an overhand chop right into the Grick's head.
Nice. Very good.
With their remaining movement, which is... Let me just double check. That was 5, 15, 20, 25, 30. They've got 15 feet left.
All the places, every single...
They're going to move right up here.
Okay.
Okay.
You see movement in the dark and down the corridor, cries of a rush of squeaky voices heading towards you, Varley.
More goblins. Be careful.
Okay, let's have a look. Many, many cries. Precious, it's you. Tim, you're next, and then we're almost at the end.
Alright, I'm going to try to assume that this goblin here can't see us, because otherwise this is really, really bad.
Which goblin?
No, there's a little goblin down the passage.
Ping the goblin you're referring to? Well, if you can see him, maybe he can see you. I don't know how much you know about goblin physiology, but yeah, what are you doing?
Well, I was hoping that as Valley steps away from Precious, I don't know if this kind of works simultaneously, she was gonna cast invisibility again. And say, we can still pull this off.
I think they always see me. They saw me before.
But you'll be invisible. We can just tell them that you've gone the other way, or further into the cavern.
Taking more than 6 seconds, what's it going to be?
I think that's all I can say in 6 seconds.
What's your action, Precious?
Well, she's gonna do it. Because I think it's otherwise we just have 100 goblins. So she's gonna do it. And
So you're envisaging yourself or someone else, is it? Sorry.
her. Sorry. Invisibility on Valley on them.
Okay. So Varley just vroom, from sight. Anything else Precious is doing?
Yeah. Well, Precious is going to step. Sorry, the press to talk always fucks around with Foundry. Oh, is there a goblin right here?
Yeah, I forgot to add some other goblins into combat.
Oh.
They were visible though, I think. They weren't hidden.
Yeah.
I can't. I
Valley.
I wasn't able to see it.
Valley didn't quite call that out either. Just that there's goblins down there. And
Tim,
that they said they...
you're up in a second, Tim. So Precious has made Varley invisible. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, Tim, it's you.
All right. And as you feel an invisible hand brush past your shoulders, Tim lightly whispers in both of your ears, "I'm going to do some recon." As he then dashes into here to see what he can see, and that'll be the end of his turn.
Yeah, you see a couple of goblins, bows poised, pointing, clearly waiting for some sort of prompt or some sort of signal. They look like they are training and ready to unleash their arrows at any minute. Down the corridor, as you're moving over there, you see, if I just budge you back for a second, you see a number of goblins, some wielding like cleavers, bows, some wielding strange bright blue bottles, all running down the corridor towards you. And as this small army presses towards you, that's where we're going to leave today's session.
All right.
It's time for blood, everyone!
Yeah, next
We
session.
are dead.
Next session will be a bit of a massacre, I think.
I mean,
Oh,
probably Precious
I'm
first.
sure
She's
hoping
like
not.
less than half her life left, so.
Yeah.
Oh, so when Precious and Alfulgans want to kill something, oh, that's bad. But when Valley wants to do it, oh, now we're going to be doomed.
But right, yeah.
mean,
Thank
you
you
can-
very
you can go
much,
ahead.
everybody, for joining us today. Our next one, we'll sort our next date out tonight, and that will be obviously the culmination to this little 3-session mini arc we've done as a distraction for, or as a stopgap for me proper Candlekeep adventures. After that, the next Candlekeep is the next Candlekeep proper is ready to go. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, for a very enjoyable session, and we will catch you all next time.
Thank you.
DM.
Thank
Thank you for a very fun session as well.
Thank you.